In this episode of Baldur's Gate 3, we continue looking for the Druid House Inn, but run into more goblins. The party was quickly overwhelmed, but the player had the bright idea to exit the map by going into a nearby hatch door. The party then re-entered the fight, but this time they luckily ambushed the leader of the goblin pack. The leader begged for his life, and in exchange, told us of a secret back door to the goblin citadel that the party can go through. The party also tries to free a gnome that was tied up to a windmill by the goblins. But the player is an idiot and can't read. Gandalf releases the break of the windmill, flinging the gnome's spirit and body to heaven. The party continues on, finding the back door to the goblins' fort. However, the fort is on the bottom of a steep cliff, so the player sadistically made the party take multiple painful jumps to get down below. The party sneaks past some drunk and sleeping guards, and see a crack on the fort's wall. Gandalf breaks the wall, but in doing so, becomes glitched inside the wall, and wakes up the guards. Gandalf tries to trick the guards, but absolutely fails it, causing the guards to attack. Gandalf is still glitched inside the wall, so the three remaining members fought, but the guards were so drunk that they were easy to defeat. We enter the fort through the crack in the wall, and we discover that we were on the rafters, far above the goblins. We sneak around, and run into Minthara, the leader and dark mistress of this entire operation. We gain her trust by giving her the location of the hidden Druid Grove, which she seeks to destroy. Minthara then asks the party to enter the grove and betray them from the inside, by opening the gates for Minthara's raid to enter. We agree to help her, and she will launch an attack the next day. The party then rests for the night, preparing themselves for the fight. At camp, we meet Withers, who randomly joined the camp without our knowledge. Gandalf let him be, as Withers promises he can revive dead party members to a safe spot. We return to the grove and find it heavily armed and prepared already. Zevlor told us to get inside the fort quickly, and we comply. Zevlor's scouts noticed the goblins amassing, so they were able to quickly prepare for it. We tell Zevlor about the truth of the situation, and how Minthara is about to attack. The goblin army shows up, led by their mistress. With everything leading up to this moment, Zevlor gives a grand speech.
I know that you are all afraid, but I also know that you have been fighting your whole lives. We have never been handed the easy choices or the gentle paths, and this is no different. These creatures would take our lives, our children, our future, and we must resist!
Minthara attempts to interrupt by forcing us to open the gate. However, we betray her at the last possible moment and resist her influence. The player didn't need to do all this, by the way, but he just wanted to build up to an epic fight. The final showdown between the Absolute's goblins and the Tiefling refugees with our party begins, with a unit count that would be a nightmare to set up if Baldur's Gate was a tabletop RPG. The fight begins with both sides showing off awesome moves, including giant spiders jumping and tieflings doing epic dodges. Gandalf mows down multiple goblins with a single storm of daggers. Meanwhile, Lae'zel lands 50-50 hits consistently, nearly taking out a tanky giant spider in one turn. Sappers run to the gate and try to blow it up, but we blow up the barrels of gunpowder traps stored on the ground, killing the first wave. A giant orc started throwing goblins and barrels at the top of the gate, putting our archers in danger. A sapper slips through, blowing up the gate. Fortunately, we clean all the enemies at the roof, just in time before the rest of the goons rush through the broken gate. However, both sides have spent almost all of their resources, so the fight started devolving into everyone missing basic attacks and doing a lot of nothing. Special mention goes to Zevlor, who spent the last 3 turns missing all his attacks, only to die to the same attack he last used. Finally, Astarion lands the killing blow on the mistress. Gandalf's body suddenly begun to move on its own. His scam baby then pulls out the other scams from Minthara's corpse, and he absorbs the power. This unlocks a new set of powers for Gandalf to get, and the player immediately picks up a power that improves Gandalf's awful hit chances.
I'm just really sick of missing all those attacks.